I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So if you notice my Discord is not working, that's because my firewall is locked down. I'm literally started from nothing. Nothing is working to write in firewall rules to allow different programs to work. And what it does is allows me to figure out how these programs communicate. So today we're going to basically take Discord and I want to show you how I figured out what and how Discord communicates. Okay. So I'm going to go here to my firewall. So I'm going to skip this, got a whole bunch of stuff here. Like these are just what's called aliases, but we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. What I'm going to start off with here is the way I started off, and I'm going to take away the filtering. So this is, well, actually, I'm going to leave the filtering because I want to focus specifically on this. But when I fired up Discord, I started to notice a trend, all these 66, 22 numbers. You see these, but what I specifically noticed is that port 50004 and 5002 and 5001. And now I'm seeing these other ones, like there's 3, there's 1. So I've been seeing this for a while and I was like, So what I do next is when I see an address like this, I go to a site called IP info. So I'm going to go here and I type basically IP info, IPNINFO.io/ and the IP address. And what that does, I don't know why it does it the first time. It converts it. But I'm going to convert it back. Do it again, ipinfo.io, not IP. And what it does is, okay, that's Atlanta, Georgia. But then I look down and I saw something. I say, oh, that's Discord. Oh, so that confirms it. So now I got my firewall logs. And now I confirm that this is Discord's network. So then I looked a little bit further and I say, okay, do I see any of these other ones? So I got 66.22.222. And when I put this into it, it gives me the whole network address. So Discord owns all these. So I'm not going to put in the individual addresses that I'm seeing here. I'm going to put the entire network address so that I can actually, because sometimes they may choose different servers on the network. Now I can tell you there's another one here. So I saw this one also, 66.22.214.82. I said, okay. So let's go to ipinfo.io/ and put that in. Okay. Oh, guess what? That's Discord also. And there's another network, 66.22.212.0 with a /22 mask. If you don't understand networking subnet mask, this is just a bigger block of network addresses. So basically, if it was a /24, that would be like 255 addresses. So then if it's a /23, you double that or something like that. And if it's /22, it's like you double your double. You know what I'm saying? It's just exponentially a larger number of IP ranges. But basically, you can go to IP subnet and look that up to get all the details because it's not a networking course. We're talking about firewalls today. Leave a comment if you want to talk about networking later. But anyway, so now that I got this, I was like, okay, so now that I have this, I know what's being blocked, as you can see. And you can also see down here further, when I went through and I tested it, where I actually wrote the rule and tested this rule before I did this video. Okay, so at the very bottom, you can see how that actually is working now with the little green check marks over here. Okay, so now that I've kind of like teed this up, the first thing we got to do is we need to go in and we're going to go to firewall and then create an alias. The reason I'm creating the alias is because I don't want to do 15 different rules for Discord. If I have certain ports that go to Discord and I know they're going to multiple servers, but it's a specific number of ports and protocols, this will hopefully make sense. And when I kind of go through this, then instead of doing like a whole bunch of different rules, I can like take all these different network addresses and put them in an alias. And then I can just tell that these ports are allowed to this network address. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click add. And let's see if I have my Zoom view still working. My Zoom view is not working. Let's see if I can add this so y'all can see this a little bit. So we're gonna do a display capture, existing screen 2. All right, and let's take this, let's unlock this, and let's make this a little bigger for y'all, okay? All right, so I hope this helps a little bit. Bring my face cam so you can see this wonderful face here. And so anyway, I'm gonna type Discord. That's a joke, by the way. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna type Discord. I like my face though. It's mine. And the only one I got. I can't get another one. So instead of putting an individual IP address here, that's what a host would do. I'll put the IP address in the description. I'm going to choose a network right here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here. I'm going to copy the 66.22 2220. I don't have to copy the 23. So I'm going to go back to the firewall rule, paste this, and then I'm going to drop this down. I know it's a 23, so I'm going to choose 23 here. It's going to do all the good stuff for me. And I don't need a description here for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and add another one. And I'm also going to take this one, 66.22.2.1.2.0 with a 22. And I'm going to paste this one. And I'm going to take that little slash off. That'll cause error. And I'm going to do a 22. And I'm going to save. Okay. So now I'm going to apply the changes here at the top. That's actually kind of behind my screen. Okay. So now that I've applied that change, I'm going to go and I'm going to write a firewall rule. And what you'll notice is that once again, with my firewall rules here on my LAN, these are things I had to configure. If you want to go through some of this later in the video, leave some comments. But basically, the way it works is you got to get DNS first, and you got to get HTTP, HTTPS, and some others. There's some Call of Duty ports that I kind of figured out and do a video on that. That's really going to be truly fun when I do that one. So, but anyway, I figured out how Call of Duty works, basically. So as far as from a networking standpoint. But right now, I've got to get Discord working. So I'm going to click the box to add a rule at the end of the list. And I noticed that looking at the logs, you notice this is UDP traffic. So you usually have TCP or UDP. This is UDP traffic. I got 522, 5050, this is 0022. These all go to 20. Oh, I got a 28 right there. I got 11. And if I keep looking, oh, I got 50030. So it looks like the highest port that I'm seeing is 30, 50030, and the lowest is 50001. So that kind of gives me my range because I've watched Discord communicate or try to communicate. And that's the beauty about blocking it. The way you figure things out is you set it up, and once you figure out what the program is trying to do, you just let it hit the firewall and fail. And it's just going to keep trying stuff. And as you go through, you just kind of make a profile of it. And then you say, okay, I'll allow this component of it. And then you'll see it maybe try to connect to another component. That'll fail. Say, okay, I'll allow this. And you just keep basically like taking step by step until you figure out how the application works. So based on what I see here is I need to change it from, this is going to be a UDP rule. My source is any, because we're writing a rule to control what's coming from inside to outside. By default, we've already blocked everything from outside to inside, okay? So that's typically how most firewalls are going to be set. But we're communicating, and the reason I'm going through is because I don't want just any device. You could bring out a device in anybody's network, and in most cases, it'll let all kind of stuff talk out. And that's why it's like the castle has the big wall around it, and it's kind of really big wall around the outside, but it's super soft, so once you get on the inside, you can destroy the whole thing. Well, for me, it's like I want to make sure that if something like I get an app on my phone or anything like that, my phone, it cannot communicate out to a whole bunch of stuff unless I write this rule, okay? So anyway, so UDP, my source is going to be any, so any of the internal addresses to outside. And then I'm going to start here. I'm going to say address and alias, and I'm going to say Discord. I'm referencing the alias that I just created previously. And then for the port range, I'm going to do 50001. That was the first port, and then the other one is 50030. So the lowest one was 5001, and the upper one is 50030. If Discord tries to talk on any other ports, I'm not going to allow it. I definitely want to log packets so that I can see what's happening and confirm the traffic is working. And I'm going to cite Discord as far as rule, and I'm going to save this. Now, if I have configured this correctly, then what will happen is when I apply these changes, Discord will actually start to work, okay? So I'm going to bring Discord over right now. Let's make it bigger. So as you can see, it's showing disconnected, okay? I'm going to apply the changes. And I need to move this rule. That's one other thing I need to do quickly, is I need to take this firewall rule that's at the bottom, and I need to move it up. I'm going to put it like somewhere in here. I want to get all these other like critical protocols done first, but then I'll take the Discord rule and let's just move it right behind some of this. I think this is some of this Call of Duty stuff I was doing before. And I'm going to save this, and I'm going to apply the change. Now, immediately, I'm going to grab Discord, and I'm going to bring Discord over. And before I could even get the window dragged open, Discord is working. You see my mic communicating. and I've just allowed Discord to work. So this is something I hope you find truly helpful. This is how you basically configure your network to be secure. This is the same principle that applies when it comes to a big company or a small company. You have to have a firewall, and you should not be allowing any protocol out. You should be knowing what's going out. You should be knowing your DNS traffic, your HTTP, HTTPS, and the email, FTP traffic there, and then all these other ports should be blocked by default. And if there's some special application, then you should go through making a profile, understand what the application does, and then allow that traffic. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested, because everything I typically do in a series. So I think I'm going to try to do the Call of Duty video next to kind of break down how Call of Duty communicates, so that you know, because it was really interesting. I couldn't play Call of Duty for days until I figured out the ports. And so I took the time and I did it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.